So in this video we're going to be looking at the reincarnation cycle and my views on how that works and why we sort of forget a lot of the information that we had accrued in previous lives, or why we forget everything, why we're born in this realm without knowledge of anything. So where this theory begins is it has a predisposition or pre-requirement that you sort of have an understanding of reincarnation and so on. If you're watching this video, you probably already exposed to ideas like this, so we're just going to go in on the deep end. So it implies that once we reincarnate into a physical body like we are now, we learn things that we needed to learn in this life to help us ascend. So how that relates to my current idea is that if you compare each life to a game, which is sort of an understanding that we are in, it's a holographically generated game. It's generated from the inside for your development. So how that reflects in a RPG, in a role-playing game, is that once you load into the game, you're given a specific set of sort of aims to do that coincide with your life. So how that reflects here is this is a skill tree in a video game called Path of Exile 2. So you get to decide which of these skill trees you want to go down. In this instance, this individual's gone down this skill tree. It's an archer, so once he picks up more of these little nodes, these little dots, he will be a better archer. So this person decided to go down the archer path, but you can also go down these other ones. This looks like it might be a mage, warrior, and so on. So if, let's say, this individual had already played an archer and then he decided to load back into a new game, but all of his nodes, all of his skill points were used in the archer skill tree, he would then just be an archer. So that's the whole idea, that the reason we reincarnate with no previous knowledge of previous experiences is so that we can specialize in a different skill path and not go down the one that we have already gone down. So if we had loaded into the game with the skill tree already sort of established, it would then just be an archer. That's why it's important that we sort of have to forget everything in order to access all of these. Maybe by accessing all of these is how we sort of ascend. I want us to have a look at a further example. So once we're born into the game, it's like this fresh sort of snow that no one has sort of trodden in, hasn't personalized, hasn't defined themselves yet. So this is like being part of the greater collective where everything comes from, all of this sort of knowledge, understanding, the light. It's a collective that is just one. But once you decide to incarnate in physicality, you then have to go down a specific path, which is kind of what like this gentleman is doing. So he started off here and then he's going down a path, going down the skill tree, picking up all the different skills and knowledge that he needs for his path. So yeah, so if we were to load into this game, into this skill path, we would just go down this readily trodden path because that's what we know. Similar to sort of neurological brain paths. Let's try to find that out. So similar to sort of the brain, once your mind is used to thinking in a specific way, it will choose to go down those specific neural pathways instead of going down different ones, because it's used to functioning in that way. So that's why we need to have a new pathway set out for us, or a new sort of fresh, untrodden set of snow or pathways or skill tree to allow us to specialize in a different path instead of going down the same path. Yep, so that pretty much covers my reasoning as to why we need to forget everything in order to learn a specific thing.